Hello, class. Have you ever heard of a man named John Levitow? No, you haven't? Well, today I would like to talk about this extraordinary individual. What makes him extraordinary? I'm about to let you know. Mr. Levitow was the first A1C ever to receive the Medal of Honor from the Vietnam War. I'm going to talk about what he did that fateful night that made him a Medal of Honor recipient. It was a dark night on February 24th, 1969. Place is in South Vietnam. Airman First Class John Levitow was a loadmaster aboard an AC-47 gunship that's called Spooky 71. During this fateful night, his aircraft was struck by a hostile mortar round. The explosion ripped a hole 2 feet in diameter in the fuselage and left over 3,500 holes in it. All occupants in the cargo compartment were wounded and slammed against the floor and the fuselage. The explosion ripped an activated flare from the grasp of a crew member who had been launching flares to provide illumination for Army ground troops engaged in combat. Airman Levitow, though stunned by the concussion of the blast and suffering over 40 fragment wounds in his back and legs, staggered to his feet and turned to assist the man nearest to him who had been knocked down and was bleeding heavily. As he was moving his wounded comrade forward and away from the open cargo compartment door, he saw a smoking flare ahead of him in the aisle. Realizing the danger involved and completely disregarding his own wounds, Airman Levitow started toward the burning flare. The aircraft was partially out of control and the flare was rolling wildly from side to side. Airman Levitow struggled forward despite the loss of blood in his many wounds and the partial loss of his feeling in his right leg. Unable to grasp the rolling flare with his hands, he threw himself upon the burning flare. Hugging the deadly device to his body, he dragged himself back to the rear of the aircraft and hurled the flare through the open cargo door. At that instant, the flare separated and ignited in the air, but clear of the aircraft. He passed out shortly thereafter. After he recovered, A1C Levitow flew 20 more missions over Vietnam before getting discharged as a staff sergeant. On May 14, 1970, for his actions aboard Spooky 71, President Richard Nixon awarded John Levitow for his action as A1C with the Medal of Honor, and he was the lowest-ranking Air Force member ever to receive the reward. He is truly a hero that earned the highest military award that could be earned, and he deserved it. Thank you very much for listening to my speech.